everybody. Thanks for tuning in to On the Ground with River Valley Co-op. I'm your host, Dylan Davidson, and today I have with me Mr. Ross Kleppe.
Hi, I'm Ross Kleppe, River Valley Account Manager out of the Sunbury area.
Ross and I are going to talk to you today a little bit about nitrogen. So, Ross, this past fall was not optimum by any means. It was cold and wet. You didn't get the ammonia put down like we'd really, like to. What are you recommending to your customers come spring?
Right. So, the anhydrous season wasn't real good this year. We probably got 30% of what we wanted to get on. So, some of that anhydrous ammonia will roll into spring anhydrous. Some of that will roll into 32% application, and some of it will roll into a urea application, as well as your planned 32% and urea applications.
Gotcha. Okay, so Ross, when you're talking about anhydrous ammonia, 32%, and urea, what stabilizers are you recommending for those products?
So for your anhydrous ammonia, we'll recommend Inserve. Inserve helps with the leaching. It keeps that nitrogen in the stable format that the plant can use as long as possible. For your 32%, we'll be mentioning Instinct. Instinct also is a nitrogen stabilizer that helps with some denitrification and leaching. We also will be recommending a product from Koch Materials, Agritane Advanced, which is a dry flowable material that helps with denitrification, volatilization, as well as leaching. When we're doing like a weed and feed type program, we'll use products like Agritane Ultra, Pentamax, and Limus for those smaller amounts of nitrogen you want to protect from volatilization at planting.
Gotcha. Okay, so speaking of smaller amounts of nitrogen, what are your thoughts on split rate nitrogen?
Yeah, so split rate nitrogen is something we've been doing a lot of for a while, in our geography, and it just makes sense, right? So we're getting the right amount of nitrogen on at the right time, in the right place. We'll start with a base layer of nitrogen, whether that's anhydrous ammonia in the fall, a base rate of 32% in the spring, or anhydrous in the spring, or urea in the spring. But we'll save a portion of that nitrogen back, and we'll do that as a side dress application, whether it be, side dress 32, wide drop 32, or top dress urea. And the thought there is, we start about knee-high time with our side dressing and top dressing and go up through about chest-high time. And you're just trying to feed that plant the nitrogen it's looking for. When it hits the grand growth stage, V8 to tassel.
Gotcha. Okay, so speaking of feeding the plant, what are, if any, do you have any customers doing the, variable rate nitrogen?
Yes, so we have several customers doing variable rate nitrogen, and with them we try to start with the end in mind, and we start with a variable rate seeding prescription, and then kind of model that nitrogen prescription around that as well. Because there's areas of the field that we all know hit it out of the park every year. They're just consistently high yielding areas of the field. You have average areas of the field that never wow us, never fall out of bed. They hold the field together. And then you have your areas of the field that just don't produce like the rest of it. Whether they're, challenged by drainage, challenged by clay side hills, or some sand. So we don't treat all those areas the same. The areas that can hit it out of the park, we give more nitrogen, more seeds. Average areas get the average rate. And then your C zones or your lesser areas of the field, you just dial it back. We may or may not spend any more or less on nitrogen, but we're going to allocate those dollars where they'll get us the most return on our investment.
Gotcha. So you really want to throw the groceries to it where you can maximize yield. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Ross, is there anything else when it comes to nitrogen in this spring that you would like your customers to know?
Well, spring, we don't know what it's gearing up to be. It's, still cold, and we're going to have record cold the next 2 weeks. So, we have plans in place right now, but by all means, plans change. So if you have questions regarding your nitrogen or need to change a plan, please give us a call.
Gotcha. Got to be ready.
Got to be ready.
Well, Ross, I really appreciate you joining me today.
All right. Thank you, sir.
We'll see y'all next time.